what's up guys, David 1, 2, and 2, and it's Friday, so it's the more casual setting. I got my candle, I've got my mail, or I would have if you guys had remembered to send me some. So this isn't going to be a mail day Friday because, boo, the only thing I got in the mail was my Shonen Jump promo, and the mailman bent it to crap. My Shooting Star Riser Dragon is shooting Riser Dragon is shooting Bent Dragon. Watch this. Oh yeah. Look at that bad boy. Oh, mail day. I hate my mailman. Oh boy. So yeah, that sucks. But instead of doing mail day, what we're going to do is we're going to do episode 4 of Discussion Week, the final episode. Even though it's going to be a much shorter one because this one's just an extension of a video we talked about earlier. Before we get into the discussion today, I just want to point out that I have my mail day address down below in every video, so if you guys want to get in on an actual mail day, that would be great. There's also the Patreon stuff and the Facebook thing. I highly suggest you like the Facebook page. I always post memes there and stuff, and my Discord. If you guys want to get on there and argue with me in a more personal setting, the Discord is awesome. And if you guys do the Patreon thing, you actually get your own personal spot in the Discord, and you're allotted, you're guaranteed to duel me on stream and things like that too. So there's lots of cool things down in those descriptions that I'm going to start pointing out at the beginning of videos so you guys actually know they exist. But anyway, where was I? Earlier in the week, we discussed what we could do to the ban list in order to make the game a little more interesting, maybe do something more intelligent with the ban list than simply just banning cards until they're completely useless, and then taking them off at 1, 2, and then 3, and then realizing no one's going to play them anymore because we've either eroded them to death, or the game has moved on to the point where those cards are no longer relevant. So I've been noodling this subject for a couple of days now, and talking with Marion and Ryan and the people on the Discord, and I think finally one of us came up with a decent idea. Earlier today, Ryan was like, hey, instead of trying to emulate other card games ban list ideas for Yu-Gi-Oh!, why don't we just emulate another Yu-Gi-Oh's format for Yu-Gi-Oh! And that is the Duel Links Ban List idea. For those people who are not familiar with the way the mobile game Duel Links works with their ban list, which is unreasonable to say because I think the community for the game is bigger than the community for the cards, and that's silly being that it's a fake format, but whatever. I do actually like Duel Links, and I'm thinking about getting back into it simply because I think it's actually a lot more fun, or at least it's fun for different reasons, and I kind of miss it. It's more like old school Yu-Gi-Oh!, even though they're starting to introduce newer things. I think a fly just flew into that candle and killed itself. Huh. But as I was saying, the way the Duel Links ban list works is there are cards that are banned, at least I'm pretty sure there are. There's cards at 1, there's cards at 2, and then cards that are unlimited. If you put a limited card in your deck, you are only allowed to have one limited card in your deck. Let's say, for instance, Regeki is at 1. That means that if you put Regeki in your deck, you can't put any other limited cards in your deck because you hit that one limited spot. And then the same goes for semi-limited, but you're allowed to have 2. So you could have both copies that you're allowed of that card, or one copy of one semi-limited card and another copy of a semi-limited card, but you can't have multi-semi-limited cards of different card name, or multi-limited cards of different card name. You're only allowed one limited card and 2 semi-limited cards in your deck. Now you might say, wow, Dave, way to screw up the whole game with that, but hear me out. The point that Ryan brought up that I thought was actually quite interesting is you can pretty much take everything off the ban list and put it at 1, or take everything off and put it at 2 or whatever, and it's not gonna matter. Other than cards like Last Turn and Fiber Jar, which we probably have to keep banned simply because they are gimmick problems. They're not like a balancing problem. The card's just a gimmick, or it works in such a weird way that it ruins the gaming experience. So those need to stay banned because they're wonky. But just assuming just regular power cards like Pot of Greed, for instance, can be now put at 1 with the Duel Links ban list. Because if, let's say, you're playing Pendulum Magicians and you have the option of playing your one-off Skull Crobat Joker or your one-off Pot of Greed, you might opt for the Joker because it's the in-archetype search card for your deck as opposed to the unsearchable random power card like Pot of Greed. And if you're playing a scrub tier deck that doesn't have anything on the ban list, and you're allowed to pretty much play 3 copies of every one of your cards in your deck, you can afford to play the 1 copy of Pot of Greed, or whatever the limited power card is that you want to stick in your deck. Meaning, the worse your deck, the more power cards you can shove in, and the better your deck, the more spots that you're allotting to those limited cards that are part of your archetype, because they overall make the deck work better and more consistent. It kind of almost auto-balances the format in a weird way, where it behooves you to play a weaker deck simply because you can play stronger cards in it. It's almost like having a point system for the game where you are allowed, let's say, 700 points, and every card's given a point value, and you're allowed to spend them any way you want, but the better the card, the more it chews up on your deck. It's kind of like the same thing, but it's a much more simpler system to I guess, use? Instigate? I don't know, what's the word I'm searching for? However, I did bring up a problem that it kind of really limits the amount of cards you can put in a deck, certainly for something like a Spiral deck, for instance, where half the cards are at 1. But I do think if you just modulate the current levels on the ban list, you could probably get this to a point where it actually works perfectly fine. The best way for this new format to work would be to change the current card levels on the ban list, because as they are, it's not going to work. Because, like, for instance, Spirals becomes almost unplayable because you have 3 cards on the ban list at 1, and you need all 3 of them at 1 for the deck to work, so maybe now they're all put at 2, and you get to pick 2 of the 3. And the other thought we actually had together was maybe there's a quasi-limited list, where cards are actually limited to 3. Now, I know that sounds completely stupid, because, like, every card that's unlimited is at 3, but we mean quasi-limited to 3, meaning just like the limited and semi-limited cards, you can only have 1 limited card, you can have 2 semi-limited cards. A quasi-limited at 3 card means you can have any 3 copies of those. So if you, let's say you made Drone, Quick Fix, and Last Resort quasi-limited, you could play 1 copy of each, and the deck is where it is right now. Or you can play 3 Quick Fix, and you can run the Machine Dupe combo at the expense of running no Last Resorts and no Spiral Gear Drone. You see how this is starting to shape up in auto balance? It's actually a really clever idea, and the more I thought about it, the better it gets. But anyway, guys, that's going to be the extent of the video. I'm just proposing an answer to a previous one as the last episode of Discussion Week. So let me know in the comments below what you guys think of this, and maybe what your ideas for what we could do with the format just to kind of spice it up and change things around. I know we have those speed duels coming out, so if they instigated something like this, I actually wouldn't be surprised. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, and remember, guys, if you don't troll the meta, who will? I'll see you guys next time.
My Insect Queen thinks this is the best channel on the web. You should swat that subscribe button. Watch these other perfectly ultimate great videos. And stop bugging me. Click something or I'll exterminate you once and for all.